Maybe.
And prepare yourself for the pledge, oath, and law.
Those in uniform, please salute. Those who are not, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
All right, now we'll have a prayer by Katie Goodwin.
Hello, everyone. Lord, we thank you tonight for your love, presence, and guidance in our lives, for the opportunity to serve and support others in our community, as well as for the friendships we have gained through Scouts BSA. Grant us patience, kindness, and wisdom as we lead, teach, and learn from those you have blessed us with in our lives. We ask you to keep us safe with a watchful eye as we strive to do our best. Amen.
Thank you very much. All right. Now it's everybody's favorite time, the info overload. We're going to do the info minute. So without further ado, let's do, here we go. All right, cool. Here we are. The info minute. Just an update on the COVID restrictions. Nothing has changed since last month. You have groups of up to 50 permitted indoors and out. Camping is allowed, however, it is only allowed outdoors, so no cabin camping. You need to make sure your chartered organization is on board with your larger meeting size. You still need to keep those temperature and attendance logs. If you're camping, you need to take them both in the morning and the evening. Be sure to have your medical AB forms current. This includes adults that are participating in activities. For camping, still there's no communal cooking, shared food or utensils. And so that is something that we're going to talk a lot tonight about, because how are we supposed to camp when we can't cook? So we're going to talk about that. Moving forward. Adult training events. So today, or well, this month we have, next month we have Introduction to Outdoor Leadership Skills set to run April 17th through 18th. This is for Scoutmasters. It's also good for people who think they're going to continue on into the troop level and camp with Scouts. So it's good to get that done and now and out of the way. We also have Basic Adult Leader Outdoor Orientation, aka BALOO, for Cub Scout leaders. And that's going to be April 17th and 18th also. Please remember that if you take your pack camping, you need to have at least one adult leader in your pack that has BALOO training. And it's good to have more than one in case someone has to go home early. And finally, Wilderness First Aid will be held April 30th through May 2nd. And spots are filling very fast. It's almost full. This is a great training for you to feel very equipped when you're out camping and how to handle emergency situations, but also in regular life. You can register for all of these adult training events on Council's calendar. This box is in my way. There. Here we go. Wood Badge. Wood Badge is a 5-day course taken over 2 weekends for any pack, troop, crew, ship, or board leader 18 years or older, fully trained in their position and looking to increase their leadership skills. Scouters interested in taking Wood Badge are committed to the program and want to do good things and make positive impact. Wood Badge will be held October 9th through 11th and October 23rd to 24th. You have to attend both weekends. Registration is open and online. Do not hesitate. We need to fill the course for it to run. Other than your own, whose life will you change for the better by taking Wood Badge? And I see a question here, wilderness first aid. I will look that up to make sure I have the right date. All right, here we go. Chris, can you look that up while I'm talking? Eagle Scout recognition. The following scouts have passed their Eagle boards of review this past February. James A. from Troop 444, Daniel F. from Troop 12, Catherine H. from Troop 492, Braden M. from Troop 15, Peyton R. from Troop 422. Congratulations, Scouts. Oh, I got those backwards. We also have an Eagle Scout recognition event. Save the date. It will be January 5th at RSR. So if you have a scout who made Eagle in the year 2020, make sure that they book that date off. Beaver Day at Camp Theokiki. For those of you that don't know, Camp Theokiki is a Rainbow Council property that we have in Kankakee. And we are having a camp day to get it ready for the season. So let's see. Get some service hours while helping our camp, and it starts on March 20th at 8 a.m. Dress for the weather and work, and bring a sack lunch because no food will be provided. If you bring Cub Scouts, make sure that there's proper adult supervision for the Scouts. They will have things that Cub Scouts can do, so it's a great chance to get some community service. Programming. Exciting because there's stuff going on. Programming. We've got, let's see, Cub Scout Nova Wild is going to be offered at the Willow Haven Nature Center in Kankakee, Bourbonnais on April 10th. The Webelos Walkabout hiking event will happen at RSR on April 24th. The organizers are looking for volunteers to help out with this event. They're looking specifically to people help with check-in, animals, fish, trees and plants, orienteering, being reverent at the chapel, and helping with the ending. So if you're interested, I see Chris Danik is here in this meeting and he is running that. Give him a shout out and how you're able to help. Also, we have the Fish On Rainbow Council Fishing Derby, which is going to be at the Will County Fishermen's Club on May 8th. It is for all levels, Cub Scout on through venturing. So if you're interested in that or any of the other programs, be sure you sign up on Council's webpage. There is a virtual disabilities awareness event coming up on March 6th. Wait, nope, I got the date wrong on that. You know what, I'm sorry guys. I got my COVID shot today and I'm not with it. Scouts of all ages for the disabilities awareness event, which is coming up on a date that I will share. Cubs through adult leaders and parents can participate. Scouts BSA will have the opportunity to earn Disabilities Awareness Merit Badge, and adults will learn more about the scouting program in relation to disabilities. Register on Council's calendar. Thank you, Katie. There is a patch for the fishing derby. I haven't seen this year's patch. I'm looking here at the notes, but there is a patch for the fishing derby, and last 2019's was pretty cool because it looks like a fish dangling from your pocket. All right, let's see. Volunteers are needed for the council programming committees still. All events here at Rainbow Council are run by a dedicated team of volunteers that are just like you and I. If they need your help to help programs happen. If you're interested in helping, now is the time to get involved. If you would like to get involved, let us know and we will connect you to the people in charge of that, because many hands make light work and many hands make good programming. All right, do you have something that you would like to add to the info minute? Please contact Esmeralda and I before the next meeting, before the next roundtable, and we'll get it added to the info minute. All right. Cool. All right. Through the magic of the computer, Esmeralda is going to present, even though she's not here, she is going to present to us the Scout Law Point. If I can navigate all the screens, here we go.
Yes, yes. Yes. Take out the trash, please.
Thank you.
Thanks, but she didn't mean for you to do that.
No big deal.
Scouting, helping fulfill your dreams for him.
For her.
Thanks, but she didn't mean for you to do that.
No big deal.
All right. Then we have the Leader's Knot, and this month the Leader's Knot is the Scouter's Key. This is much easier with two people. All right, the Scouter's Key is earned by Cub Masters, Scout Masters, Venturing Crew Advisors, District and Assistant District Commissioners, and District Committee members. So it's this fun green and white knot. And all of the requirements are different depending on the position. But here is the one that you guys would most likely see is the Cub Masters Key, and the file is available on BSA's website. But there is some training that has to be done, the basic training for a Cub Master, and attending at least 4 roundtables each year for the year of tenure used for this award. Achieving at least a silver level of JTE, Journey to Excellence, for at least 2 years, and earning the National Summertime PAC Award at least once. You also will need to conduct an annual PAC planning session and have a published PAC meeting activity schedule for the PAC's parents in each year, and participate in at least 1 additional supplemental or advanced training event at the council, area, region, or national level. So if you are a committee chair, please pay special attention to this award and make sure that your Cub Master knows about it, or see if they've already qualified and you can surprise them with this knot. For the Cub Scout Award, we've got something fun this month, and what we've got is 2 awards that are not actually BSA awards, but they're still very Scout-like awards. And here we go. We've got the Starved Rock State Park Starved Rock Junior Ranger program. So this is great for your younger Cub Scouts. It's got some activities here, all very Scout-worthy stuff. You could arrange a hike for your pack at Starved Rock and work on these and have all your scouts earn this Starved Rock State Park badge, which is pretty cool. For the scouts that are a little bit older, your Webelos and your AOLs, you could work on them with the Starved Rock Scout Patch program. So it's a little bit more for the older scouts, like the Webelos. Some bears could probably do it too, but there's a whole bunch of questions that they are encouraged to find out while they're hiking or perhaps after the hike, and learn about Starved Rock itself. And there are questions about what's in the area, what's in the water, what's in the sky. Pretty neat. And then after they complete all the activities, you can speak with a park interpreter and they will sign off on this little certificate. But the cool thing is you can call our office, Dee, and have her order this patch right here. That's up in the upper left. It's the Starved Rock Scouts patch, and they can order it from, she can order it from Advantage Emblem for your pack. So it's kind of neat because it's local and it's something you can do. That patches are always pretty motivating, so it's a lot of fun. So that is what we're using for the Cub Scout Award today. As for the safety minute, this week or this month, we're talking about food safety and to get you guys up to speed. And I know as a Cub Scout leader, it can be a little overwhelming if you haven't participated in scouting before and you're not quite sure on what the rules are, but we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about ideas for food during COVID times. But we're going to start with our safety minute, and our safety minute this month is food safety. And Esmeralda has pre-recorded a food safety presentation for us. Here we go.
Keeping your food safe. Foodborne illnesses peak during the summer months due to a variety of factors, including warm temperatures and improper food handling. Keep your meals and your scouts safe while participating in hikes, campouts, and other outdoor activities with careful menu planning and by following safe food handling practices. Remember the 3 C's to keep your food safe. Keep it cold. Bacteria are slow to grow in temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit or above 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature range in between is known as the danger zone, where bacteria can multiply rapidly. Since a heat source is usually unavailable to transport foods, it's best to start with perishable foods, chilled or frozen, then packed with plenty of ice, frozen gel packs, or frozen juice boxes. Keep it clean. Start with clean hands by utilizing soap and water or disposable wipes before handling food. Wash fruits and vegetables before cutting them on a clean surface. Avoid cross-contamination by never allowing raw meat, poultry, or their juices to come into contact with fresh or prepared foods. Keep all raw and cooked meat, poultry, or fish separate and always wash hands properly after handling. Use only a clean water source and wash hands, dishes, and fresh fruits and vegetables. If water is not available, properly use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol can help to reduce the number of microbes in most situations. But hand sanitizer does not eliminate all germs. Correct hand washing remains the best way to prevent illnesses from being transmitted. Also, remember in the backcountry to follow recommended water treatment protocols when rehydrating food, cooking, or drinking. Cook it thoroughly. Many scouts are cooking on their own for the first time. It can be difficult to determine doneness of meat or poultry as color is not a good indicator. Meat can harbor dangerous bacteria. A digital meat thermometer is a good tool to have in the chuck box and to use when cooking meats, poultry, and fish. Be sure to clean your thermometer between uses. More information can be found at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, the Boy Scout Handbook, Chapter 10, or the Cooking Merit Badge pamphlet.
All right, thank you, Virtual Esmeralda. The next thing that we're going to talk about is about proper cleaning of dishes when we're at camp. So this is really important, especially right now. It still might make sense to set up one wash station for everybody when you're on a camp out. And there's a proper way to do it, believe it or not. I'm sure you can because you've read all the BSA rules. They have rules about dishwashing too. So we have Troop 466 out of Coal City who volunteered to make a video on how to do the proper BSA 3-bin wash station. So we are going to share that.
Hi, I'm Tony. I'm the SPL of Troop 466, and I'm Ethan, the ASPL of Troop 466, and this is our wash station. We got the 2 racks for clean and dirty. We do the clean ones on the top rack, and then the bottom is the dirty, so then no dirty stuff drips on your cleans. And then we have the 3 tubs bare minimum for the wash, the rinse, and then the sanitize. With the wash, you boil the water before you start cooking, so then it'll be nice and ready for you to wash after. You would use camp soap, a bare minimum of camp soap, and then for the rinse, you'd use hot or warm water, and it's clear, nothing in it. And then for your sanitize, it'll be cool and cold water with your tablets, sanitized tablets. So now that you have everything set up with your hot water, warm water, and cool water, you're gonna have everybody bring their dishes up. Make sure that they're clean. Well, all the food's off of them. Either lick them clean or scrape them off.
I licked mine clean.
So when you have your camp soap in here, you're gonna take a sponge and you're gonna use the scrubby side to get all the dirt and grime off your pans here, and then finish it off with the soft side, kind of wash everything out. And then you're gonna move over to the rinse. You're just gonna rinse all the soap and everything off of it, and then put it in the sanitize for at least 2 minutes. And then once you've pulled everything out of here, you're gonna put them on the top rack because they're clean, and that way you don't have, obviously what he said, dirty stuff dripping on your clean stuff. And then once everybody's got all their dishes in and you've cleaned them, you're gonna take all your tubs and you're gonna go at least 200 feet from a campsite or any body of water, and you're gonna spread them out. Just dump it and spread it out throughout the grass. And that's it. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Troop 466, for teaching us the proper method of the 3-bin washing of dishes. Make sure, if you're not familiar with those tablets, you can get them at camp stores or on Amazon. They're a tablet that goes in the final bin, and your dishes sit in the sanitizer, and that makes sure to kill every last germ that's on them. So they sit in there for 2 minutes, and then you let them air dry after that. Not with the towel, because the towel can actually spread germs around. So if you have any questions with that, I know I see some seasoned scouters here today who would happy to be talked to you about the proper way to wash your dishes. All right, for our main event tonight, we are going to be talking about actually cooking with your Cub Scout families, especially right now during COVID times, where we have to be a little more careful. So let me pull that. All right. So we've got Cub Scout camping cooking with COVID considerations. All right. First of all, we've got some council guidelines, which I'm sure you guys have heard over and over again, but we're going to cover just real quick. You need to have permission from your charter to camp. You need to be sure that you're not communal cooking. What does communal cooking mean? Meaning you can't have cooking between families or between scouts. The people cooking need to be their own unit. So a family could cook and they need to cook separately from another family. That means right now, Cub Master cannot cook a dump cake and then share it with everybody, but individual families could cook dump cakes and share them with their families. That also means not serving out of the same bowl or using the same utensils when you're cooking. It has to be within each family, which can be a little challenging because not all families have that camp cooking skill. So it can be a little hard or a little overwhelming to teach them, but we've got some ideas. You need to keep 6 feet apart for eating right now, and that's just within families. So families need to separate while they're eating. And of course, you have your masks and your temperature logs and your hand washing available. That's actually a Cub Scout rule that you have to have proper hand sanitizing, a way to sanitize your hands. We also have some national guidelines in general about cooking. You need to have at least 1 leader with Blue training. We touched on that earlier. And we have that rule because Blue train leaders, they learn a little bit of everything. They learn about the safety rules. They learn about what's allowed, what's not allowed. They learn about cooking. They learn about camping safety. So it's very important that you have at least 1 leader with Blue training. This is also for insurance purposes. That means at least 1 person there knows how to do stuff. You have to have access to clean water for Cub Scouts. So if you're camping in Grandma and Grandpa's backyard with your pack, we need to talk about that. But there are some things that you need to make sure, and access to clean water, especially if you're cooking, is one of them. You have to have sanitation considerations. So not only toilets, but you know that you're following the 3-bin guideline for washing and that you have proper hand washing stations. And finally, leave no trace. Leave no trace in scouting is very important. That means we're not just dumping our soapy water in one spot, or that we're using a harsh detergent to wash our dishes and dumping it right in one spot. We're scattering, like the boys explained in the video, we're scattering our dishwashing water out in a broad arc and not always in the same spot so we don't kill things, kill plants. And we're also straining all of the food out of our water before we dump it out. So in your dishwashing station, you should have a little strainer too to catch all the food particles so that they can go in the trash. Leave no trace also applies to all your garbage that you pack it out. All right, if you don't have this book yet and you are a CUB leader, you should have this book. It is the Leader How-To book. It has everything from ceremonies and fun stuff you can do and projects and themes. It also has some fun and silly outdoor cooking recipes in it. Some of them are dubious, like the hearty hot dog special, which is pretty much suspending a hot dog in some soup. But there are also some other fun things like the Twixer biscuits, which you can see over here where you're putting a biscuit mix on a stick, cooking over the fire. So not only for the food and considerations, but there's a lot of other cool stuff in there for Cub Scout leaders. All right, planning ideas. So right now, we have some unique challenges with camping, but it can be done with the pack, with the Cubs. You could leave all of the meals up for your families to plan. This is probably the easiest thing for you to do as a leader, is just tell everybody your food's on your own, figure it out and bring it. You could provide a booklet of recipe ideas, which we're going to talk about some a little bit later, which might help families who aren't quite sure what they're doing have a good idea of something that they could make and they could bring, but not kind of lock anybody into anything. Or if you really love planning, you could provide a simple meal plan with a shopping list and equipment list and have a cook along when you're at camp. So each family is cooking the same thing at their own little campsite. If you choose this, please do consider your pack families resources for this one. Not everyone may have the right equipment for this, but don't fear, you probably have a troop nearby that would be willing to let you borrow some equipment. So it's possible, but it will require a little more legwork. For individual family cooking, there are lots of options. You could do the traditional camp stove cooking. You could do campfire cooking. You could do Dutch oven cooking. You could do freezer bag cooking, backpack stove meal cooking, and there are even more than that, which is kind of fun once you get into scouting and you see all the options that you have. But we'll talk about camp stoves first. They're almost like home. You can pretty much cook everything you cook at home on the stove, on a camp stove. Eggs, pancakes, bacon, soup, grilled cheese, mac and cheese, lots of kid favorites there. The cons being not everyone has access to a camp stove. So if you might ask around, I know some of us have a crazy amount of gear at home and are willing to share. Or you could ask a troop and then make sure that everyone's equipped with what they need. The other bonus is that regular pots and pans work on it too. You do campfire cooking, which is great. You can prep it ahead of time and bring it with you in the cooler, and you don't even need to do anything. You just pop it on some coals or some fire. It's easy cleanup. Usually there's not a whole lot to clean up when you're done, so you don't have to practice all those great sanitizing skills. There are lots of different options. There's pie irons, which you can get on sale at Walmart at the end of camping season for like $6. Foil packets are a huge hit because everyone can kind of figure out what they want in their own packet, and you can lots of different options for foil packets, and you can cook directly over the fire, which is also always fun, although a little stressful for the parents if the kids are helping. Flaming hot dog on a stick. There are lots of options. However, the weather may not always cooperate. You know, if it's really windy or if it's really pouring, it might be a little bit harder to do these. Although if you have a chimney starter, you can usually get some coals going in pretty much any weather. Dutch ovens, classic. You can make many food options. You can fry in them, you can bake or saute or simmer. Pretty much anything you can do in the oven or on the stovetop, you can do in a Dutch oven. However, they are a little spendy. They are very heavy. And again, the weather and fuel considerations, if the weather's not super cooperative, and it takes time. There is no super fast cooking because you have to heat that cast iron up with the coals. It's a great, if you're hanging around the camp all day, it's a great option. Again, your local troops, if you don't have one, your local troops probably have several that you could ask to borrow. It's a good investment. You'll probably use it a lot if you continue with scouting as a family. Freezer bag cooking is usually something we think of the older scouts using when they're going on treks and backpack hiking. But it can work for families and Cub Scouts too. Pretty much all you need to do is add hot water. It's super portable. You don't need to keep it in the cooler. And it's super easy cleanup because all you have at the end is a spoon. The cons being there are some learning curves to it. You have to figure out how it works. Sometimes there are special ingredients like freeze-dried or dehydrated fruits or vegetables or meats. And some kids who don't like their food all mixed up may not like this. But it is an option and can make a really fast meal, but a hearty meal on the go. We also have backpacking stoves, and these are great for the freezer bag cooking that we just talked about, where you only need to add the hot water. But you could also do ready-made backpacking meals. So they are a lot easier, but they're kind of spendy. So it's up to families if they want to spend money on that. They're very portable. It's not like hauling a Dutch oven to camp. You can just pull it in your bag and pull it out. You can use them with regular backpacking pots and pans to cook pretty normally. So if you have the pans that go with it, you could cook mac and cheese in there and it would be perfectly serviceable. It's not as practical for a larger family or a larger amount of people because the quantity of that the pots hold is smaller. It can be a little tippy. I would be nervous using it around Cub Scouts on a table or having them nearby when I was using it. And some of them, like these simple ones, aren't terribly expensive, but some of them like jet boils, they can run like $150. So just things to consider if you're considering backpack stove cooking. Other ideas, I have seen most of these at some point at camp. This is called a box oven, and it's a cardboard box covered in foil. And then you put a pan of coals underneath it, and you can grill or bake in it. Kevin Kantorski, you may know him. He was the former Roundtable commissioner. He has one that he built out of wood, and he baked muffins in it. It was pretty impressive. There's reflector stoves where they reflect the heat of the campfire and can cook meat or bake in them. You've also got tin can stoves where you feed sticks into the bottom and can use it as a little fry pan. You've got your regular old charcoal grills. You've got solar ovens, which are awesome but can be spendy. And I've even seen someone bring out a tabletop Blackstone grill, which is kind of awesome. All right. Now we've got all these different methods to try. But we also have tried and true no cook or pre-prepped ideas. And, you know, pretty much anything you could, anything that you could bring to your lunchbox for kids in school, you can bring camping. And it makes life a lot easier if not all of your meals need to be cooked on the stove, especially lunchtime when kids are running around and don't want to stop. So there's lots of options here that you can look at, and they're pretty self-explanatory. But we have some easy cook camp food ideas that kids usually like. And I say usually because we've always all got that one kid who eats like goldfish crackers and yogurt, and that's it. So, but for most kids, walking tacos, and this is from experience, walking tacos are very popular. You use either Doritos or Fritos. You cut the bag right open. You cook the taco meat at home and put it in a bag. So when you get to camp, all you have to do is heat it up in a pan, and then you add all the toppings and they eat right out of the bag, and they think it's the coolest thing ever. Burger patty foil packets, you put a burger patty in there, you add potatoes and a vegetable, you let them have fun seasoning it. They're hungry because they've been playing outside all day. I have not met a kid who has not liked his burger patty foil packet, especially when they're the ones who put all the seasonings in it. You have pie iron grilled ham and cheese. That's always fun, the novelty of it. Same with Bannock hot dogs, where it's basically just a hot dog and you get crescent roll dough and you wrap it around the outside of the hot dog and roast it over the fire. Both of these are super fun because the kids get excited that they're doing it themselves over the fire, and we all know kids like setting things on fire. Fancy ramen is often something that's popular with the kids. You could do it as a freezer bag cooking, or you can do it in a little pot on the stove, but it's basically just ramen noodles in their packet, and you can add dehydrated fruits or dehydrated vegetables and some pieces of beef jerky, and it makes it a lot heartier. And I don't know, for whatever reason, every kid that I've let them do it themselves, they think it's the coolest, best tasting soup they've ever had. My personal favorite is pierogies and Polish sausage in a packet. And I put onions and stuff in mine. I mean, it's good. Anytime you put Polish sausage in a packet, it's going to be good. But then you add the pierogies and it's excellent. Campfire baked apples for a sweet treat. Those usually go over very well. You can do just about anything: brown sugar, oats, nuts. You can even do chocolates or whatever. That's always fun. Wrap it in foil and tuck it in the coals. Dutch oven dump cake. So if you do have Dutch ovens accessible to you, the dump cake is super easy. Line it with foil. You put the fruit down in the fruit pie mix down in the bottom. You pour the cake over the cake mix over the top, and then over everything you just kind of swirl the soda. Now, it will work with whatever combination of soda, cake, and pie mix that you want. So the kids have a ball picking out which pie filling, which cake type, and which soda they want to use. And they're all good, no matter what. And they like it because it's kind of magic. And I have one final bonus life-changing recipe for Scout leaders. This is my personal favorite. And it is just the Keebler fudge striped cookies and a marshmallow, because they're delicious. And I discovered those, and those are my favorite thing in the whole world. So now I'm going to stop the video, and I haven't been able to see the comments, but I can see that there's some comments going on. But now is a chance, we've got a little time. If you've got questions specifically about cooking at CUB camp, or if you've got recipes that you super love and want to share that you think would work good for families, speak up. Or if you have any questions about anything else that we didn't cover that you want to talk about, we have some time to do that.
Angela, just real quick, you had mentioned about a recipe. A real easy one for Cub Scouts that are easy to do is bananas in the peel. Cut a slit in the banana and just take Hershey bars and shove them in, wrap them in tin foil, throw them in the fire. Come out, the chocolate's all melted. It's delicious, and the peel keeps the bananas warm.
Delicious?
Delicious.
Yes,
oh,
I'm gonna have that. That sounds good.
Girl, you don't even know.
Oh, there's so many good ideas in here. I'm looking through all the comments. What do we got?
So I've got a tip for everybody. If you're gonna make Dutch oven pizzas and you buy the already made pizza dough that comes in a roll from the store, make sure you supervise the kids when they open those, because we did this on a troop camp out, and the kids decided that they were going to imitate what they've seen in movies and television, and they thought they could ball the dough up and do the thing with the hands and flip it up, and that resulted in some very, very small pizzas rather than pizzas that filled out the entire Dutch oven.
Yep, I could see that. I could also see them dropping it in the dirt and then they have a dirt pizza for dinner. Oh, there's so many good things in here. I'm reading through them. Go ahead and chime in. Yeah. Chris said, go ahead.
S'mores also are really, really good with any chocolate you can put in there. Reese's are really yummy. So grab all your candy and bring it with. I'm sure they'll love it.
I do enjoy the Reese's s'more, but I don't know, the fudge stripe, there's something about the chocolate's nice and thin on the one side, so it melts right away when you put the marshmallow.
And then you don't have to carry as much.
Exactly. Lots of things can be pre-cooked, I'm seeing here, and just bring them frozen in your cooler, and then or tell parents to bring them frozen solid, and by the time they need them, it's thawed out and it stays better for longer.
Those pie irons can make really good desserts too. You can fill them with Nutella and bananas, or just a can of pie filling. Get all kinds of creative ideas there. If some of the kids are making s'mores, you can kind of steal some of the ingredients and stick them between 2 pieces of buttered bread. They're real good.
If you've got kids that want to make s'mores but don't want to get stuff all over their hands, we do cone s'mores. We take an ice cream cone and cram it full of whatever you want, wrap it in tin foil. It only takes about 1.5 minutes on the fire. And then that way they can eat it like an ice cream cone. They don't get stuff all over the place, and it keeps your hands clean.
So there's a lot we can still do, even if we're not allowed to cook in big groups. I know it's easier sometimes to just get a big pot of hobo stew going, or a big thing of chili to serve everybody. But if with a little thinking, you could definitely camp with your pack with individual families if you equip them with the knowledge that they need to be able to do it. So I'm hoping that some of you are comfortable and taking your pack camping, and when you do, I'd love to hear what you guys decide to do with cooking, because we're just curious. You might come up with something different that we haven't thought of, and we can share it, and hopefully other units will have some ideas. Did anybody have any other questions about anything scouting related right now at Rainbow Council or in general? Now is your chance.
Angelique, earlier on you mentioned wilderness first aid.
Yes.
And the dates you gave do not match the dates on the calendar.
Okay.
So the council calendar has April 24th and April 25th.
Okay,
First aid.
I can check that right now and know for certain. Give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see.
If you do Baloo, or your folks do Baloo, Baloo covers a lot of the things that got talked about today with food safety and camping and cooking. You'll get a lot of recipes. I actually have a Wapi-Lanaswa cookbook that got created one year, I think, as a fundraiser. And you can't see it because of my virtual background, so I'll change that real quick to no virtual background. And then you can see it's got the big white buffalo on it. And if anybody wants to borrow it, let me know. Or if you're looking for something that contains any kind of specific food types, it's even got the chart on the inside that says how many briquettes you need for the different temperatures for a Dutch oven.
All right, Wilderness First Aid is April 24th and 25th, and I'm 100% certain on this because I have the email from the person running it. So Wilderness First Aid is April 24th and 25th. And Blue, I happen to know the organizer because it's me. So if you're signed up to take that, I will see you there and we'll have a lot of fun. Blue is a lot of fun.
What are the Baloo 2 dates?
The Baloo dates are the 17th, April 17th and
the week before.
18th. Yeah, April 17th and 18th. You're there early on Saturday and you're done a little afternoon on Sunday.
And then Is that a Baloo 2 course? Like, are there separate courses now? There's like an online one for
So-
like a prerequisite?
There is e-training to do for Baloo first. There's an online module that you have to complete and bring the certificate with you. If you sign up, it should say that in the email when you sign up, but you bring the certificate with you, and that proves that you finished it. And then I can sign off on the paperwork after you've taken the in-person portion and say you've completed both steps and are fully Baloo trained. So yes, you do have to do both parts. It's not optional to be able to do that, but only the one is in person. And we do have like 15 people already signed up. So the more the merrier. It makes it more fun when we can have different dens. It's a lot of fun. You get a lot of hands-on skills.
And you can always do it again if you've already done it before.
It is at RSR in Morris. Anything else? Well, cool. Thank you all. Oh, the cost.
$30.
Thank you.
Yep. And the online portion takes about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't deal with putting the course cost out, so I don't.
It's
know that part.
$30 until March 19th, and then it's $40 after March 19th. So you've got about a week to get in on the early bird.
Yes, there will be masks, just like all the requirements that you have to follow for Cub Scouts. There will be masks and social distancing. If you need to take your mask off, you step away from the group for a few minutes and have a breather with your face. That's how we've been handling all the training so far. But because it's a scouting event, we have to follow the scouting rules, the adults, just like the kids do. We will provide food, so you don't have to bring food. You need your tent and your camping, like your sleeping bag and your mat and a good attitude and your uniform, and you're all set. Any other questions? All right. Hopefully it snows. Hush your mouth. Well, that's all we've got for this evening. If you think of anything, don't hesitate to ding Esmeralda or I and ask a question. That's what we're here for. Even Chris, that's what he's for as a commissioner too. So if you've got questions, just let us know, and hopefully we'll see you next month. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.